and we are Margins to Movies. I'm Della B,
And I'm Nita Key.
and we are continuing on with our reactions to the documentary The Crash, which is currently on Netflix.
All right, very good. So where we left off, we were talking about how they had a trooper who came in to say what happened after Mackenzie Shirilla, who was the driver of this car, Dominic Russo and Davion Flanagan, after they left the sleepover, according to Rosie,
Mhm.
the sleepover where they were coloring and stuff at her house or wherever they were. And so they talked about how Mackenzie took a very controlled turn to the right. The
Yep.
car started going at 97 miles per hour and it crashed into this commercial vehicle. And the primary impact was on Davion's side of the car. Yeah.
Yep.
So it was really sad. So then we get into some more evidence that the police found. Hold on, let me close this laptop. So they did do blood tests on Mackenzie and they found that there was no alcohol in her system. There was
No drugs.
THC found from all of the
Yeah.
marijuana she smoked, but there were no mushrooms in Mackenzie's system. Because I think at first I was like, is she on drugs? Is she
Yeah.
so like hopped up on drugs that she didn't realize what she was doing? But they
Yeah.
found that she was not so hopped up on drugs because it was not uncommon for her to drive and smoke marijuana, is basically
Yep.
what she did.
Yep.
Yeah. And then so they said, well, let's bring in the forensic auto investigator. The forensic auto investigator basically did tests on the car to see did the car malfunction, because that was my thing too. I'm like, maybe the car malfunctioned, you know? So they
Right.
did tests and the car basically found the car did not malfunction. The brakes and everything were working correctly on the car. Then they go to Davion's dad, Scott Flanagan, and he talks about how after the crash, the police weren't really giving him that much information, but he was scrolling through social media, right? And he sees a post from a brand who liked one of Mackenzie's pictures, and they was like, hey, can we use your picture, for our emails and our advertisements? And Mackenzie mom the hop down in the comments talking about some, yeah, you can use her pictures. She's gonna be so excited about this
Yep.
days after the crash.
Yes.
Days after the crash, because the thing is that even if you feel like she's innocent, it was an accident, two people are dead.
Dead.
Two people
Dead.
are dead. You know what I'm saying? Because of
How
you.
right. How you responding like that? You should have been saying, "Oh, I appreciate the opportunity, but now is just not the right time for me to even consider
Yeah,
this."
because Mackenzie commented too. Mackenzie was like, "Oh yeah, I would love the opportunity and stuff."
Yeah.
And like you're saying, like, don't even comment. Why are you on your social media like
Right.
that?
Right. I will be you should be devastated.
Exactly. And I'm like, girl, you up there with a neck brace. You got broken everything. You lacerated everything like your dad said. So, baby, why are you on social media talking about you grateful for this opportunity? Girl,
I
that's what
know.
I'm talking about. They don't read the room. It's just a
Mhm.
family of inappropriate people. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
They're all inappropriate.
Yep, I
All
agree.
right, so come to find out, Divine said that Divine is Davion's sister. She said that Mackenzie sent her a little pitiful little message on social media. "Oh, I would never do this. I'm so sorry." And she said, Divine said she never liked Mackenzie. She did not feel like she needed to respond to the person who killed her brother. And
Yep.
she said that basically Mackenzie was stuck up, a bully, and
Yep.
basically just rude. And she tried to warn her brother about him, but apparently he didn't listen.
Yeah.
So now we have the prosecutor Troop. Okay, so he comes in and he starts talking about Mackenzie and her behavior. Okay, her
Mhm.
character, and we get into some deeper things, child. And so I watched this documentary twice. The first time I watched the documentary, I saw where they put information up about some trouble she got into at school, and I saw something where she was cursing someone, okay,
Yeah.
or something like that. But I thought she was cursing a student. Baby, on this second watch, I said, "Let me pause this TV." Baby, I
No.
paused this TV, and this is what the teacher referral said. Okay, teacher referral said, "I would like her removed." Teacher referral said, "I am no longer comfortable." Okay, teacher said, verbally attacked,
Mm.
being videotaped. Okay, these are the snippets I got from the referral.
Mm.
And then it says, in which she responded, talking about Mackenzie responded, by calling the teacher a ducking Fitch,
Mm,
in a dumb fitch. Okay, I'm just gonna say
mm,
it like that for social media. A female dog.
mm,
So she was talking to the teacher.
mm-hmm, mm-hmm,
Yeah, she was talking to the teacher. This is the teacher saying, I want her removed from my class. I'm not
mm-hmm,
comfortable. And she's cursing me out. Looks like she was verbally attacking and videotaping the teacher.
mm-hmm. So, and then
Then,
what the dad do when the dad come and pick her up?
girl, daddy, this was not even that same event, I don't think. Because the dad said it was a situation. This
No,
because she had a history of getting in trouble at school.
no, I don't know if it was that event, but I know that they told him to come pick her up on the
Yeah,
last
but
day of school,
yeah,
but we
that
don't
might have
know
been a
what it was
separate
for.
event. So here they was
It
just
could have
showing the
been.
referral and just showing that she had a pattern of being disrespectful to teachers and
Yeah.
students. And then the dad recalled an incident where she was suspended on the last day of school, and he came running up there with his cape on, Superman, baby, baby. If you look me deep in my eyes. And you tell me
He
that
didn't
you
even say
didn't
all
do
that.
it. Just tell me what happened. And she, Daddy, I didn't do it,
I
Daddy.
didn't do it.
He said, that's all I needed to hear. I said,
That's
come
all I
on, get your
need.
stuff. Sir, she was already suspended. Okay.
Yeah.
First of all, she was already suspended. So you talking about get your stuff and come on. They had already put her out. Second of all,
Mm-hmm.
how bad you got to be to get suspended on the last day of school? Okay. The last
Exactly.
day of
And
school, usually they like, whatever. Go sit in the office.
but the thing about it is you never went in the school to go and talk to anybody and say, "Well, what happened? What did she do? We need to get this corrected. This is not acceptable." You never went in to talk
And
to
he might
anybody.
have. He might have. We don't know
I
because
don't think he did.
this
I
is
kind of got the
recollection.
impression, yeah, I kind of got the impression that he just said, "Well, did you do it?" And she said, "No." He said, "Good enough for me. Let's go."
Yeah, he might not have. And then my thing is for him to be a teacher, I'm just dumbfounded. Okay, so as a
Right.
teacher, you should know that teachers, as a teacher myself, we are busy. Okay,
Yeah,
you might have he working at a Catholic school, but in public school, baby, you might have 150 to 180 students. Okay,
exactly.
so you are teaching, you are lesson planning, you are grading, you are doing all types of paperwork and
Yep.
accommodating and modifying. And
Yep.
as a middle school teacher, baby, we don't just be calling parents just, hey, how you doing? Just
Mm-mm.
wanted to check on you.
Ain't got nothing else to do. So I'm calling
Exactly.
you.
Baby, we
Yeah.
don't be calling parents like that. Don't nobody want to talk
No.
to you like that. The administrators don't want to talk to you like that. I mean, no
Right.
offense, it's nice when we see you. Hey, God bless, be blessed. But, it takes time out of our day. So for someone to take time out of our day to even write a referral or for the principal to contact you, it
Yep.
is a serious issue. And for him to come
Absolutely.
up there with that attitude, it just shows why this child was the way that she was.
Exactly.
Just no accountability. And her parents did not
None.
hold her accountable. And what's worse to me, they're the worst type of parents. Not only do you not hold your child accountable, you don't want anyone else to hold her accountable either.
That's right.
And that's
That's
the
exactly
issue.
right. That's
That's why you
exactly what I
mad.
wrote down.
Other people trying to hold her accountable, and you're like, no, you're not going to hold my baby accountable either. It was insane.
It
It was
was.
crazy. And for him to say he had to leave work, baby, the teachers at work, the
Right.
administrators at work, we at work.
Right.
Okay,
Right.
and she disturbing the peace down the aisle, job.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Talking about he had to leave work. Oh, child, I was done. That
Yeah.
told me everything I need to know about that daddy.
Exactly. As soon as I saw that part, I was like, "What? You didn't even try to inquire anything? You just, oh, you didn't do it? Okay, that's fine. Let's go." Just it's like no wonder she is the way she is. Now
Yeah,
I
and
understand.
girl, he told that story unprompted. Nobody asked him for
Yeah.
that little anecdote. Nobody asked for that. Baby, he
Exactly.
just unprompted. Okay, telling the little
Exactly.
story. I said, Lord, today, my God, today, child.
Mhm. Mhm.
Oh my God. But yes, we think we should be live on YouTube. We're also live on TikTok. Make sure you're liking the live and commenting. Baby, we can't see all the things of the things. But come on in here and comment and like the live. All right, so yeah, I put here dad told some idiotic story about his lion child. Okay, so Tim talked about how the parents made excuses and basically there were no consequences for Mackenzie's actions. Whenever she would get in trouble, she would have more freedom, not less. Because apparently, I guess the parents wanted to be her friend and they act like they were scared of her.
Yeah, I don't know what that was
Then
all
the
about.
parents come through. They said, we're not perfect by far. Okay, but no one is. Okay, and then the mama gonna say she didn't need to be disciplined that much. Cause she was a good kid. She just had a mouth. Girl,
Mm.
she just had a little mouth. Are you serious? That
Mhm.
girl was disrespectful to the max. You cursing out teachers and students. They said she was bullying students. She was telling
Yeah.
some girl she used to go die or some stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, ma'am, you said she just had a little mouth.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah. It's more to it than that.
that's
This girl,
wild.
she just didn't have. A lot of this is her parents' fault. They
Yeah,
didn't give her
period.
any parenting. They just
Yeah.
let her do whatever she wanted to do.
She was like an animal in the wild.
Yes, she was
They
doing
did
whatever
not
she wanted
raise
to do.
her. You know what I'm saying? They were around. I'm sure they provided for her. You know what I'm saying? But she
Oh
was
yeah,
not raised. And the
and
juxtaposition of her parents versus the Flanagans, you can see that Scott Flanagan was a daddy. He was raising
absolutely,
those kids. He was guiding them. He was teaching them right from
absolutely,
wrong. He was raising
absolutely.
them to be productive citizens. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Now, Davion, it
Hmm.
seems like he wasn't listening, but he was also a teenager. And I'm sure there
Yeah,
was a
of
phase he
course.
would have grown out of. But he doesn't have a
Absolutely.
chance to grow out of any phases, right? Because he's
Yeah.
not with us anymore.
Yeah.
Child. Okay, so, all right. So, parents with their foolishness. There was some video of Mackenzie talking about cursing out some kids, some young kids who came over to the house and she let them come over and do illegal things and she was cursing them out. It just shows her character basically. Now the black box data came in. Okay. And for me, this was the smoking gun. All right.
Yes.
So that data came in and it has 5 seconds of pre crash information. It said the accelerator of the car was pressed all the way down at
All the way.
100% capacity and there was no braking. Okay. There was steering movement, and the gear shift went from drive to neutral back to drive.
Yep.
That was a smoking gun.
Yeah.
So you did not try to stop that car at all.
Mm-mm. Mm-mm.
Common
Just
sense dictates
yeah.
that you
Yeah.
do
It was
not
just
crash into a building.
yeah.
She did not get on the brake at all.
And you know what's
No
funny?
braking.
You know what's really
Mhm.
funny? And I don't know if you haven't gotten to this part yet, but when they said that they in the car they found her shoe was pressed all the way down,
The
her
little
shoe
frog
was
flipper,
stuck,
yeah, stuck in.
her slipper was stuck. At
Yeah.
first, I thought because you know they you if you have on those slippers, sometimes your foot can get stuck
Hmm.
in between the brake and the gas pedal. And at first, I thought that's what happened. I
Yeah,
thought
it was the slipper.
she had this house shoe on, but then I was like, and her foot got stuck, and
Yeah,
you know that was what I initially thought until the forensic guy came back with the real evidence, with the results of his you know of his investigation. Found
yeah,
out that no, that wasn't what happened. It wasn't she. It got stuck there from her holding it down all the way to the floor and then crashing.
yeah, yeah. So the car basically crashed around the slipper. You know,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, that was basically what happened, right?
Yeah.
And so, oh, Della B, the people can't hear you on TikTok. It looks like you went. Uh,
Oh, because you know what? I went over to YouTube. Let me go back to TikTok.
okay, all right.
Sorry.
Della B's coming back to TikTok so y'all can hear her over here. So basically, it was like, wow, she
Okay,
did it
I'm
on
back.
purpose. That was my reaction.
Yeah.
She did it on purpose.
Yeah.
Then it goes to motive. Okay, what was the motive? And then a friend of Dom's came in and said that Mackenzie was actually very disrespectful of Dom and very controlling of him. So
Yep.
she basically was the type of person she wanted Dom to herself.
Yep.
Dom's dad and sister even said that his dad wanted to spend more time with him, like probably a year before he passed. But he said he was
Mhm.
always with Mackenzie.
Yep.
Like they were always together, so they weren't spending, I guess, as much time together. And then we find out that Dominic cheated
At some point on
on
her.
Mackenzie.
Yeah.
Okay, early on with a friend. Now I'm like, yeah,
Mhm.
he ratchet for that. He was ratchet for that, and she was 13. You know what I'm saying? So I
Yeah.
mean, you know, it's high school foolishness is what it was. You know what I'm saying? And apparently, because Dom cheated on her, Mackenzie is just something that was recurring theme in their relationship. That's something that will keep coming up. And then I wrote here Rosie and Bubba just lying. So I only know what they said, baby. I was so sick of Rosie and Bubba. I said, don't nobody care what they saying. They just lying. So Dom's family, after the crash, they were actually there for Mackenzie. They talked about how they were talking to her and they were very supportive of her and they were hopeful that she would be okay, that she would recover. And then they said that Dom's mom, that part of the family, didn't talk to Mackenzie at all because
Mhm. No, she didn't,
apparently they
because
were privy
she
to
yeah,
information that
yeah,
the dad side didn't know.
she knew the rest of the story, she knew that there wasn't just no all rosy, so to speak, as they tried to say, "Oh, they were just so in love," like Mackenzie's
Yeah,
parents tried to act like, "Oh, it was just a perfect
high school
relationship, they could,"
sweetheart.
and the mom said, "No, no, 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 no," it was more to it than that, and
Yeah,
that was when she
and the
told us
mom
about
actually did not participate in the documentary, but we did see her testimony.
yeah,
Okay, so yeah, it was Angelo Russo. Okay, this was Dom's brother and his neighbor. And he said that his brother tried to break up with Mackenzie multiple times and he would call her parents to come get her. He said, this little wild demon child over here acting a fool.
mhm,
And child, what is this on TikTok? What is they doing? They talking about drag the puzzle piece into place. Why I'm dragging puzzle pieces into place? Y'all, what is TikTok doing? Are they trying to make sure I'm human? I'm sorry,
maybe
y'all.
so.
TikTok asking me questions. But anyway, so the brother Angelo Russo said that Dom was trying to break up with Mackenzie many, many times. So he basically came in and blew up this whole high school sweetheart, so in love, about to get
Sure did.
married. And then he also said Mackenzie was acting like a demon child, and Dom would have to call her parents multiple times, try to get her out of his house. And I'm
Yeah,
like, parents, come get your child.
yeah,
She's 17. Okay, she should be
yeah,
at home with y'all anyway. Y'all should
exactly.
be raising her still. She is not an adult. Okay, I don't care if she graduated from high school. She's 17. She should be at your house. That was ridiculous. All right, so then they showed cell phone text messages where Mackenzie was threatening Dom and basically her own life as well. But she was like, oh, basically, I'm coming for you, your house, your car, your life, your friends. It was very chilling,
Yeah, it
right?
was.
So she was very abusive, I would say.
Yes, she was.
Then we have another smoking gun where 2 weeks before the crash, Dom's mom said that Dom called her and said he needed help because Mackenzie was driving erratically and threatening to crash the car
Mhm.
and basically, off them.
Yeah.
And then she had a friend to go to I guess to call Dom because the friend was trying to find them and see where they were, and the friend
Mhm.
said he heard Mackenzie say, "I will crash this car.
This
I'll
car.
crash
Yep.
this car right now."
Yep.
So this was 2 weeks before the event. She was threatening to crash the car. I guess he got there, Chris, and he was able to help them out. Finally, the police have enough information, evidence to arrest Mackenzie. Both of the parents were upset. They said that you didn't have to have all these cop cars to come get this little 100-pound girl, and they were upset by that. But honey, the parents are always upset. I'm not care about them. Child was set for August 2023, and she was tried as an adult. Okay. Enters Mackenzie Sharilla in her top knot. Now, this was surprising to me because I didn't know she was going to appear in the documentary. Mackenzie dramatically, I wish I can get up and show you. She dramatic she dramatically sits down with her top knot
Mhm.
and she starts to tell the story. She says she wants to tell her truth. She's not a monster. She talked about her relationship with Dom. They were messing with each other, and then they had teenage stuff going on. But at this day and present time, if he was still alive, which he's not because of you. But anyway, she said they would be married. They asked her, "Have you ever felt rage?" And she said she never felt rage. She was just sad because Dom did not have good communication skills.
Yeah.
I said, "Wow,
He didn't have good communication skills.
wow." I said, "Wow."
Mhm. Yeah.
Baby, they got
Mhm.
evidence of you being mad, being
Mhm.
angry, being
Mhm.
belligerent most of the time. They have
Exactly.
Teacher referrals from your teachers talk about you are mad and belligerent most of the times. They have people
Exactly.
commenting on social media talking about you are belligerent and mad and bullying them. They have Dom's friends coming in and saying you talk to him crazy. They
Yep.
have footage of you threatening him, calling him a little ditch, okay, and telling him
That's
he better
right.
let you in that house. And for you to say you were sad and y'all would sit around and eat popcorn after y'all fought, girl, bye. Oh my God. I was like,
Yeah.
girl, that's what you
Yeah.
came on here to say with that top knot?
Yep. That's what she came on there to say. Well, but she was performing for the camera. It was
She
so
was
obvious.
100%.
Oh my goodness. So obvious.
100%. This was her grand debut, honey.
Yeah,
This was her time to shine.
exactly.
You could tell. You could tell it had that energy to it, you know?
Exactly.
So, girl, she probably thinking about I'm on Netflix, all these people gonna be watching, all these
Yep.
opportunities gonna come,
And she made
child.
sure her hair was hooked up and everything,
Exactly.
and
She had that
makeup was
top
done
knot.
on. Yep.
Okay, so she says she still only remembers that they were headed back to Dom's house. She says, I have no recollection. Her words, I have no recollection of that morning. I was the driver of a tragedy. No accountability.
No account, and that's exactly what I wrote.
None.
No accountability at all. None.
I
None.
was a driver of a tragedy.
Tragedy. I was a drive like the tragedy happened on its own.
It
It was
happened to
already
her.
happening, and she just happened to be there.
A victim of circumstance.
Exactly.
A victim of circumstance of a tragedy. She had nothing to do with it. Her shoe, her product flipper got stuck, I
Yeah.
guess. You know what I'm saying? I was undone. I said,
Yeah.
you know what? You can come with some genuine remorse, you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? And
She
some
had none.
accountability. You
None.
know what I'm saying? And really, that's how you gonna get on parole, sweetheart. That's how you
No.
gonna get parole.
No, she had a prepared statement from her lawyer. She had to make sure, that she said what he told her to say. I am just really into what did she say? What she say? Uh
Oh,
I
I
can't
wrote it
remember
down.
what her word. Oh, she says, um, I don't remember what she said exactly. I'm sorry,
I
but
wrote it
she
down.
says something about I'm really into it being an accident or something. I can't remember what she said.
Yeah,
I
I'll
probably got
get
it
to
here
it.
somewhere.
Just bear with me. I'll get to it.
Yeah.
But yeah, so basically, she said she has no recollection of what happened. She was a driver of a tragedy, and then the trial starts. She elected for a bench trial, which means the judge was going to determine her fate. There was no jury. Dom's family was supporting Mackenzie at first, and baby, they learned the details what that black box
Oh,
said, and baby, they said you didn't try to break. You were all the way down on the accelerator.
yeah.
And like the officer Troop said, no, I'm sorry, the prosecutor, the attorney Troop said, he feels like when the gear shift was going from neutral to drive, that was Dom and that was Davion trying to save their own lives. When
Yeah.
the steering wheel was jerking around, that was them trying to stop her. So they was
Yeah.
probably screaming and trying to stop her,
Yeah.
but you did not take your foot off that
Off the
accelerator because
pedal.
you did it
No.
on purpose.
No.
My God, today. Oh my God. Okay. She said her lawyer told her she was basically gonna get off because there was no
No evidence.
well, not evidence, but it's some word she was using. No intent.
Yeah. And he said they didn't have any evidence of anything. So how could they even find her
Well, that's
guilty?
what the dad said. The dad was like, how are you gonna prove she's guilty?" You know what I'm saying? Because they didn't know what all the police had. But my thing was no intent because so this girl, let me tell you, my mind was blown. So you think because you were pretending like you don't remember what happened,
Mm-hmm.
and you were pretending that he was the love of your life, and y'all were
Mm-hmm.
gonna get married,
Right.
that there was no intent, so they can't find you guilty. That was
Right.
your story, and you sticking with it. Years later, this is now years later, that is still your story and you're
Mm-hmm.
sticking with it. There
Yeah.
was no intent.
Yeah.
I'm undone. But you did what
Yeah.
you did. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, so she thought she was gonna get off, and then the interviewer asked her, "What do you think happened? Tell us your theory." She said it seems like she had a medical emergency. But she
Yeah.
can't
Because
remember, so she can't say it. Then the mom
yeah.
came in talking about she had POTS. POTS is
Yeah.
something where you might be faint or something like that. She
Yeah.
was diagnosed in 2017. The mom said on the witness stand. According to the officer Troop, I keep calling him an officer, Attorney Troop. According to Attorney Troop, there was no statement from a medical personnel saying
Nope.
that the pots caused the crash.
Yeah, and
So
then he
you
asked the
have
mom.
POTS. You couldn't have
Yeah, and then
someone
he
come on and say that you suffer from POTS and that's what caused it.
right. And then he asked the mom, he said, "So if you thought this was an issue, you took your daughter to get a driver's license?
Yeah,
You let her drive all the time smoking marijuana?
yeah,
If you knew if this was such an issue, why would you have let her do all these things?"
yeah. Period. She driving and doing all that with her POTS or whatever.
Mhm.
And then the interviewer clocked in and got paid because he asked a very good question. The interviewer asked Mackenzie, "How does a medical emergency account for the control of the car?"
Yes.
You were in control of the car the whole time.
Uh-huh.
So he said,
Yes.
"How does a medical emergency account for that?" This is her response: "I do not recollect what happened,
Yep.
but it's not in my nature to do something like this."
Yep. You know, the whole thing about this girl is if that were me and I was in the act and I killed the love of my life,
Yeah.
I I would the least you could say is, you know what? The love of my life died due to a tragic accident. I don't recall. You know what I'm saying? She never said anything about how much she loved him, how much he was the love. I'm talking about, when she was giving her little statement and all this stuff. She even in this interview, she never talked about that and them. It was always her and no intent. And I would never do that. But you never talk about the two young men who died. Never. And that's what killed me. I'm just like, you ready to try to get some more fame. That's what you trying to do.
Yeah, that's what she's trying to do. That's basically what she's trying to do. Okay, so the mom shared video of Mackenzie. Okay, so Dom's mom is on the witness stand, and she found some footage on Dom's phone, and there was footage or audio I think we heard of Mackenzie cursing that boy clean out, threatening
Mhm.
to break down his door if he does not let her in the house. And he's saying to her, "Girl, I got things to do." He was trying to go see his grandma, going to see his family. And she's like, "You're not going nowhere." And you could really hear the anger, the vitriol, the control. Okay. And her true colors, basically.
Mhm.
That's who she was. Those were her true colors showing. And so I thought that was very telling video. And then also I feel like it blows up her story that, they were happy and they were gonna get married.
Exactly.
Also they show at the I believe now at this part we're getting close to sentencing or something like that. I felt like the lawyer showed a video of her dancing to some song like "I'm the kind of girl you die for" or something. It was chilling in light of what happened, but I feel like a lot of people probably was dancing to that same song. Like I
Yeah.
didn't think that was necessarily evidence of wrongdoing, but dressing up as corpses,
Yeah.
that was crazy.
That was crazy.
For
2
Halloween.
months at Halloween. Now this accident happened July 31st.
Hmm.
And it's Halloween and you on the YouTube or whatever it was, the TikTok or whatever, and
Yeah.
you dressing up as a corpse and you smiling and all happy. I'm like, if somebody would have
With her
came to
little
me and asked me
scantily
to
clad
dress like
friends.
if somebody would came to me and asked me to dress like that, I would have said, "Have you lost your mind? You know that the love of
And
my life was
Rosie.
killed?"
You know what? And
Yeah,
Rosie was tap
exactly.
dancing on my nerves when we were
Exactly.
dressed like Playboy Cardi. She was infuriating too.
She
Rosie,
was.
her demeanor,
Right.
and those parents, I was infuriated. I just,
Yeah. Yeah.
it was infuriating. Oh, we were dressed up like Playboy Cardi. Well, you shouldn't have worn a corpse. You know what I'm saying? You have no sensitivity towards the families of these deceased boys.
And boy,
None.
let me tell you, she got over her grieving real fast.
She did. Oh, hold on. Let me get to it. Um, Baby, when I tell you somebody who should not have talked at that sentencing, somebody who should have sat down,
You talking about the
somebody
mama?
who should have sat down was that mama.
The mama.
What was that woman name? Dorothy. Let me see what that woman name was. Y'all, that mama got on there
Yeah.
and she talked. Oh my God, what is her
Mama's
Natalie?
name was Natalie.
Natalie, thank you,
Yeah.
Natalie. Oh my God! At the sentencing hearing, because basically the judge found Mackenzie guilty of murder.
Yeah.
The mom, she didn't know what happened. She doesn't recollect. They just stick it to that she doesn't remember.
Mhm.
Her pretending like she doesn't remember what happened does not change the fact that she killed those boys.
That's
That
right.
does not change the fact. Her pretending like she don't remember, she doesn't recollect what happened. They said the word recollect one more time. I'm gonna jump out the front
Yeah.
door window. She doesn't recollect what happened. And then the judge cut in and said, "Ma'am, you're not talking about the deceased boys. You're only talking
Right.
about your daughter." You know what I'm
Right.
saying? And she said, "Dom." She didn't even finish her sentence. She said, "Dom," and then she's like, "Oh, she didn't recollect what happened." And then Davion, he was a new friend.
He was a new friend. Judge
Child,
said, so what does that mean? His life is worthless? And the mama, oh, no, 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 no. She shouldn't have never got up. She should have just stayed sitting down in
she
her
should
seat.
have sat down and
Yeah,
looked remorseful about what her
exactly.
child did.
Because she was just as bad as her daughter. None of them seem remorseful to me at all.
To me, either. And you know what is even worse? Okay, Davion appears to be biracial.
Yeah,
Okay, correct me if I'm wrong. He could be black, but he appears to be at the very least biracial.
yeah.
And that Caucasian woman, that white woman standing there, and the judge is asking her to show some empathy and sympathy for these deceased boys. For her to say that that black or that half black boy was a new friend, it reeked. I'm just
Yeah.
saying. I'm just saying it reeked. It
But the
reeked,
judge
honey.
picked
It,
up on
it
it
did
right
not look
away.
good.
And
Huh?
the judge picked up on that right away.
Oh yeah, it
So his
reeked.
life is worthless?
Yeah. And then her
It's,
little apologies, all their apologies was trash.
oh
Mackenzie
my gosh.
apologized, all the apologies were trash. Okay, so basically the judge sentenced Mackenzie to 15 years and the terms were concurrent, meaning that she would serve them at the same time and she would get credit for time served.
Yeah.
At the end of the documentary, Mackenzie, baby, she wasn't even crying at the end. She was pretending to
No.
cry. She wiped away some imaginary tears, and then she
Mhm.
consulted with her lawyer because they were like, "Is there anything else you want to say?" And she said, "Is there anything? Because I don't want to sound crazy. I don't want to say too much, but what should I say, baby?" Them tears. She dried up. Her demeanor changed real
Mhm.
quick.
But she was you then she was like performing. She put her head down, then she looked up. Is that it? I'm like, oh my God.
Yeah,
What a performance.
yeah, baby, no tears. There was no
No
tears. Now,
tears.
and look, let me be very, very clear because I do want to talk about this with some level of nuance. I am sure when she realized that Dom and Davion died, I'm sure she was remorseful. When she was
Absolutely.
crying, I'm sure she was upset. Apparently, and I think, and whether she admits it or not, she knows what she did,
She
and I'm
does.
sure that there was guilt, there was sorrow. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? She was grieving. We're not saying she wasn't, but also she did it. That's just my opinion. She did it. And that's the judge's opinion too. All right, so Mackenzie said she wanted to say for her final words, there was no intent.
Yeah.
I
No
have
intent.
excessive amounts of remorse.
Mhm.
Moving on.
Yeah.
Moving on.
Yeah.
So the mom says she has a smoking gun. She has evidence that proves that Mackenzie is innocent. The mom said that during the same day that Dom's mom testified that Mackenzie was driving erratically and trying to kill them, she said that she has evidence that Mackenzie sent text to Dom's mom and said that Dom is the one who's driving erratically and he's trying to kill me. Okay, so I have an update about that situation as well. I will share in a moment.
Oh,
Uh,
okay.
yeah, then they went on. They talked about Free Mackenzie on Facebook. These little kids talking about she too pretty to be in prison. I don't have time.
I didn't have time for that either.
Scott, the father, said his biggest hope is that she changes, but with parents like she has, she, baby, it's an uphill climb.
He was
Her first
yep.
parole hearing will be September 2037. They talked about how there's a scholarship for Davion. He wanted to go to barber school before his
Mhm.
untimely demise, and they have a scholarship his family set up to help people who want to go to barber school. Her appeal was denied, and I
Mhm.
have an update about that too. And then they have
Oh,
a montage of Dom and Davion at the end,
yeah.
and it was so sad.
It was so sad. This really hurt my heart. Really hurt my
Oh my
heart.
God.
This was
As
really
a
hard.
person and as a parent.
Yeah, it just I couldn't even sleep after watching that.
Yeah,
It just hurt my heart to see these young men just gone like
yeah.
this, you know, it just hurt me.
And is that not like one of your worst fears as a parent that your child
Yes.
would get involved with
Mhm.
some psychotic, abusive person? You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? Who takes their life, who harms them, who hurts them, who takes their life. I mean,
Yeah.
it's just a parent's worst nightmare. You know what I'm
Yep.
saying? And then the way she did it is so horrific.
Yeah.
It's so horrific. I
Mhm.
mean, I just say lock her up and never let her out. I'm
That's
sorry.
what I said.
Yeah, that's what I think. Okay, a
Because she
couple of
literally,
updates. Oh,
with
go
her
ahead.
15 years, she literally can be out at the age of what, 32,
33 or
33,
something? Yeah, so she can still live her life.
and live a full life.
Yeah.
And
Oh my
you
God.
can best bet, I don't know if Imma be around there, but you can best bet that if she did get out, you can best bet she'd be trying to make money off some
Oh yeah.
social media stuff
She
behind
probably
this
trying to
whole
make money
thing.
now. Yeah, she gonna be
Mhm.
trying to make money, but somebody gonna marry her.
Hands
Somebody
down,
gonna
she
like to
will.
give, have kids with her. Okay, so a couple of updates. So the appeal. So apparently the appeal was denied because the lawyers missed the deadline to file by 1 day. And
Oh,
it was the same judge who presided over the case, and she said, no, the appeal is denied. You missed the deadline. Now, it was just 1 day on the one hand. On the other hand, the lawyers dropped the ball ridiculously. And
mhm.
this apparently is a new legal team. I don't think it's the same people. Also, she was convicted on 12 charges. She was convicted of 4 counts of murder, 4 counts of felonious assault, 2 counts of aggravated vehicular homicide, 1 count of drug possession, and 1 count of possessing criminal tools.
And she only
So
got
yes,
15
that was
years.
another update. The other updates I want to share is from a YouTuber. So I didn't know if we were going to review this, so I did watch a review of it. Annie Elise, that's the name of her channel. She goes into true crime content. If you know her, you know her. She's really really good. So basically, she was saying that she was privy to information about this case because she was participating in a documentary. Because apparently there are multiple documentaries about this case.
Oh,
As one of our followers commented on our TikTok video. All right, so according to Annie Elise, the information that she's privy to, she said that prior to the night of the crash, Mackenzie drove that route, I guess, numerous times. So it looks like she was practicing.
what?
Yeah, and apparently she had no reason to even be over there. So yeah,
Wow.
she practiced the route. She drove it. Also, apparently, Natalie Mackenzie's mom asked Mackenzie's friends, and one of them actually confirmed this is Scott Flanagan, to not communicate with the police. So I guess Rosie, Bubba, maybe that's what the reason why they didn't communicate with the police, because the mom asked them to help them save Mackenzie and asked them not to talk to the police. So she was interfering with the investigation.
Mm.
Also, apparently, when Mackenzie was still in the hospital, she wanted to get out of the hospital to go to Dom's funeral, and her dad is documented as telling a police officer not to allow his daughter to be released from the hospital for Dom's funeral because she just killed 2 people and she tried to kill herself. So the dad admitted to an officer that she did
Yeah.
commit this crime and that she
Yeah.
was trying to, unalive herself. And finally, she also revealed that the text that Mackenzie's mom was saying was her smoking gun to shoot proof that
Mhm.
she didn't have intent or that she didn't have a prior history of this type of behavior. The text Mackenzie sent to Dom's mom was sent after Dom had already reached out to his mom, right?
I figured
So
that.
trying to clean it up. She didn't want
Exactly.
Dom's mom to know she was doing all that.
I figured that. I figured that. Mm.
Y'all. So yeah, so that's pretty much our review. We are not going to rate this documentary because this is a very tragic, I don't know. The content is very tragic. I do want to be mindful of the fact that sometimes when crimes are committed, people remember the names of the killers, the Jeffrey Dahmers and the
Mhm.
John Wayne Casey's,
Mhm.
and people do not remember the names of the
Of the
victims,
victims.
unfortunately. So we just want to remember Dominic Russo and Davion Flanagan. These were young boys. They had their whole life ahead of them, and they did not deserve to have their life ended so horribly, so
Yeah.
brutally, so painfully. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And yeah, yeah. And I just, prayers for the family.
Yeah,
There's
absolutely.
nothing really you can say to make it better. But the dad would like for Mackenzie to be honest and tell them what really happened. So
Yeah, me too.
we can only hope. So, okay. Della, you have anything else?
No, I would just say, if you're into documentaries or true crime, this is a interesting one to go and watch. I don't want to say great,
On
but it was
Netflix?
just interesting. Very heartbreaking, but it does happen.
Yeah, yeah, unfortunately things like this do happen. And you know what I was thinking about, because I was talking to a friend a little bit about it, and you really could leave the documentary thinking, well, maybe she couldn't do it because who would do something like that? And I was thinking, and we just did a review of Is God Is, okay?
Mhm.
So that review will be dropping tomorrow. Okay, that's the
Mhm.
plan to drop it tomorrow.
Yeah.
But I said that, yeah, she's small, she's little, she's a woman. The patriarchy would tell us that women are weak, or that they're the, lesser vessel or something, something like that. I said, but just like you hear stories of men who commit murder suicide, men who off their families, off their wives, their girlfriends, their ex-wives, and then like harm themselves or try to harm themselves, that's her.
Yeah.
Okay, so don't be fooled by her size, her age, the fact that she's a woman. That's who she is. You know what I'm
Yes.
saying? And she is someone who would do something like this.
Yeah, and a lot of this is her parents' fault because her
Period.
parents are not teaching her to be accountable for anything,
Yeah,
for nothing.
yeah.
So that's a big problem right there as well.
Yeah, yeah, but 100%. You can lock those parents up too. And I felt like the parents think we're stupid. That's our
Yeah.
thumbnail. I say they think we're stupid, okay? And then I think that, you know what? And then, because I was wondering, I'm like, they have to know. Like, you didn't know
Yeah.
your child did this. And then, evidence comes forward, and I'm like, okay, so they did know, but, they're still trying to sell it. Because I honestly think they know she did it, but they don't want her to be held accountable for it.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Because that's
Yeah.
our daughter. And what if it were your daughter? Wouldn't you still want to look out for your daughter? Well, I would want her to pay the price if she was guilty.
Yeah, exactly. Yes, that's my child, but you did something horrible. And I think,
Yep.
girl, 15 years, you can get out at 32, 33, and still live your life. And,
Absolutely.
just sit down somewhere, just do your time and shut
Exactly.
up.
Exactly.
Oh, child. Okay, don't get me started again because this video already long. But okay, but that's all we have for you today. Thank you for joining us. If you are listening to us on podcast, make sure you're following the podcast. Also, give us a rating. Okay, give us a nice little 5-star rating. If you're watching us on YouTube, please like, comment, subscribe, and hype the video. Also, follow us. We are on Instagram. We on TikTok. We out here, okay? Follow us. Join the family, okay? And
Until next time, we will meet you.
between the margins and the movies. Bye.
Take care, everyone.
Take care. Bye.